This is not financial advice, not legal advice, for entertainment, educational purposes only. Anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, double check you're still subscribed to the channel. Double check your notifications are on. And if you hit that like button, double check it's working properly. Because these criminals are doing everything in their power to suppress the channel, because they don't want more people becoming aware of the fraud and corruption in the market, because that would put more pressure on the SEC, the DOJ, and the FBI to do their job and enforce the rules of the market. And you know these criminals do not want the SEC, the DOJ, or the FBI to do their job. They like being able to rob and steal from retail investors, pension funds, and institutions that follow the rules with no real consequences, okay? That's really the bottom line. Anyway, the GME naked shorters, they have to know that the party's going to be over for them very, very soon. And I'm not telling anybody to buy, hold, or sell GME, but let's be realistic. GME is sitting on more cash than the market cap, okay? So how can that company go bankrupt? How can them naked shorters ever crash AMC down to zero? GME down to zero. Absolutely impossible, okay? It's just not going to happen. GME, in my opinion, I've said it multiple times, is going to be the new Berkshire Hathaway of this generation, because they have enough cash on hand and they have Ryan Cohen at the helm. So they're going to do great things. It's going to be transformed into something we can't even conceive yet. Okay? And the bad actors, they know it. They're not stupid. I mean, they think they're smart money. I think they're criminal money. But that's not the point. The point is they know that eventually they're going to have to cover. And when they do, a lot of them going to end up bankrupt, in my opinion. Okay? But every single day, you got more people buying GME than selling, yet somehow the price doesn't go down. And we all know why. Pure manipulation. The SEC knows, the DOJ knows, the FBI knows, and they do absolutely nothing about it. Okay? The reported volume, 10,641,889 shares. Okay? Does that mean anything? Of course not. Not when you could create billions of counterfeit shares with no repercussions. The volume means absolutely nothing. They still claim 26.78% is DRS. I tell you guys every day, it could be 150% DRS, and they would still have counterfeit shares. Okay? They would still have counterfeit shares to short into the market and manipulate the price. And then on top of that, 62.8% of the volume was shorted shares. 62.8%. Where are they getting these shares from? The SEC refuses to ask. The DOJ refuses to ask. The FBI refuses to ask. How can 62.8% of a float, of a volume rather, be shorted shares and not raise alarms? I mean, that's absolutely crazy to me. These guys found 6,600,000 GME shares to short into the market and manipulate the price, and nobody cares where they got these shares from. Nobody asks, where did they originate? Nobody seems to care. And the reason they don't care, because who are the majority of the victims of these crimes? Retail investors, pension funds, and institutions that follow the rules. And in the short exempt, 7,309, just further evidence of the counterfeit shares, in my opinion. But let me ask you guys something. If 62.8% of the volume is shorted shares, and then 68.6% of the volume is sent to the dog pools, how can it be any buying pressure whatsoever? I mean, this is overwhelming fraud and corruption and manipulation in real time, in broad daylight. Yet the SEC, silent. The DOJ, silent. The FBI, silent. They can't claim, they can't see the fraud and corruption because it's right there in the data. It is right there in the data. But somehow, the SEC, the DOJ, the FBI don't see anything that requires an investigation. Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. If 62.8% of the volume is shorted shares and 68% of the volume is sent to the dog pool, how can there be any buying pressure? Anyway, have a great day. God bless, and I appreciate y'all on this journey with me.